Hello everybody, thank you for joining me today. Today in this video I'm going to do a box opening. Now granted, I know it's not a brand new game, but it's relatively new to me, so I do want to do a box opening of it and show you what's inside, you know, my way I guess. But today we're going to look at North Africa 41 by Mark Simonitch, one of my favorite designers, and this covers the Western Desert from March to December of 1941. And yeah, so this is, you know, the latest in the Simonitch's 1940 series, and let's take a look at it. All right, so you see the box cover has some pretty nice art on it. I do like the way that this looks. You notice that they even have the plane up there to spot for them. On the back here, we have a picture of the map, and then close-up of some of the map, World War II photograph, some of the counters here. North Africa is a game that represents the campaign in North Africa from Rommel's first offensive in March 1941 to December of 1941. North Africa 41 allows the player to study the campaign and refight it on their own strategy. The game includes a detailed map of the Western Desert and meticulously researched order of battle. Of course, the game, like all of Mark's, is the game uses a simple move and fight supply game system developed in Normandy 44 and Holland 44. Important elements like supply, troop quality, tank quality, artillery support, and command and control are all reflected in this game. So, you know, that's nice. And they're fun games to play. I do like playing these games. Scale, combat unit represents brigades, regiments, and battalions. Each hex on the map represents an area of 8 miles across. Each game turn represents half a month, but a game turn is further divided into 2 to 3 impulses representing 3 to 7 days. This game includes 3 scenarios: the campaign game, Inner Rommel, and Crusader. Game contents, which you can see in a minute, are 2 maps, 2 counter sheets, 1 rule book, 1 playbook, 2 6-sided dice, 2 setup and reinforcement cards, and 2 identical crit text players. Oh, I see a dog's coming in. Hold on. 2 identical crits. Now, of course, credit is Mark Simonitch is the game designer here. He does the graphic designs also. 2-player game, 3 to 12 hours depending on the scenario, 14 and up. Complexity is a 5, and solitaire suitability is also a 5. So let's take a look and see what is inside this box here. Now, of course, we start out with the rules of play, and you got introduction, contents, sequence of play outline, stacking, land movement, off-map box, zone of control, boxes, zone of control, combat, combat modifier, combat results, determined defense, which are in a lot of Mark's games, I think all of them, retreats, disrupt and recovery, disruption and recovery, advance after combat, breakthrough combat, supply and attrition, ASUs and SPs, special units, replacements, reinforcements, naval transport, convoy attacks, event tables and resource points, delay markers, supply attrition, victory, and optional rules. So by the time you get done with that, you're going to have read 24 pages in this manual here, and we'll see if that's all verbiage. Scenarios, they start at 25. Hint on play starts at 26. And convoy example is 27. And then we got an index on 28. So 28 pages all total in this book here. And as you can see, you know, 4 colors. So we have all of our counters here, a description of those, sequence of play outline, pictures of the map, movement here, an extended movement. Go on to zone of controls, ZOC movement, combat, just like we discussed. And there's quite a bit of weight. I mean, there's some pictures, but most of it is reading. But it's pretty large text, and you know, it's pretty quick to get through these pages. Retreats, and also if you played some of Simonitch's games before, a lot of this is just refreshing your memory here. Advance after combat, breakthrough combat, supplies and attrition. We got out of supply penalties, ASUs and SPs, artillery and support units. Special units, give us a breakdown of all the special units here used here. Replacements and replacement markers when they first come in. Reinforcements, removal and conversions. naval transport ports, convoy attack, event table and resources, delay markers, the supply attrition phase, talks about that, which I imagine is important in a desert. And then we've got victories, optional rules, scenarios, Inner Rommel, the campaign game, and Crusaders. So this is your scenario setup. Hints on play, credits, abbreviations found on the units, convoy example on the back page, and of course our index. And then we have our playbook and table of contents to his extended example of play from 2 to page 7, it looks like. Designer's notes on 8. Order of battle and historical notes on 10. Bibliography on 16. Rating the tanks North Africa on 17. And DAK or DAC, infantry organization on 19. And sequence of play on page 20. So again, here's our introduction to it, giving us up to turn 2, I believe it generally goes to, impulse 2. Ending thoughts, yeah, so it looks like it stops at turn 2 for an extended example of play. And here we have our designer's notes, order of battle and historical notes here, which is always fun to read, I think. But you did tune into Nerd's Workshop, so obviously I like to read. And some more, and rating the tanks in North Africa, bibliography, I should pronounce correctly. Tanks and DAK infantry organization deck. So that's that, and then we have 2 foldouts here, 2 player. Then we have 2 player aids here. We have the combat result table. I can just show you one here. Determined defense, rally table, isolated attrition table, combat modifiers there. In the center we have ally event tables, axis event tables, unit types, port demolition and bombing table, anti-shipping table, axis supply attrition, ally supply attrition, resource list here, disengagement table. And these are nice solid heavyweight sort of semi-card stock here. Well, I guess it would be card stock. And then terrain effects table on the back. And some nice printing on this though. Nice, easily colored so it's easy to separate things. So yeah, very nice. As always, nice player aids. Then we have our Crusaders axis set up here. And Crusaders ally set up there. And gives you your reinforcements times they come in. Oh, well, actually, these are all setups, yeah. And then here is axis setup and reinforcements. And ally setup and reinforcements. So at start, turn 8. So that's all those there. And of course we have our counters. And let's see, maybe I can switch on over to this one, do kind of a close-up of these. So you can get a feel for the counters. And they're, you know, usual nice heavyweight stock, GMT's heavyweight stock. Nicely done. Good color, good alignment, easy to punch out as always. You just can't go wrong with these. And then here's our second, oops, sorry. I guess you may have wanted to see, oh, see how easy they punch out? The backs of these here. And we can see that we have some units that can be flipped and some that cannot. And let me try to get rid of the glare on that. You can see where my finger poked through on that one. Our other counter sheet here. Try to get that a little further back here so you can see it. I guess I can move that up. No, I can't. That's pretty locked down. So here's our other counter sheet. Available assets. A little different counters than what normally are encountered on the 1940 game. I'm referring to these right here. And we have our North Africa maps, which are huge. And we have 2 colored dice here. We'll come back again to this one here to show you the dice. Oops, let's see if it gets focused. Focus on the dice. There you are, right there. Blue and red dice, nice quality die. And then to our overhead camera here. And we'll take a look at these maps. We'll see how much I can show you of these maps. But you have 2 maps, good stock. Seem to have a little bit of a glossy surface to them, but not too bad. And this is going to be a long table setup, because as you can see, this thing expands quite a ways across there. Top of Egypt here. And over at this far side, we have Tobruk up here. We have our ally shipping table here. Port demolition. We got turn tracks, some player aids already here. Sequence of play there, so you can keep track. Axis support. Then we have our map key, campaign victory points, ally remnants display there for when you get down to the 3rd unit there. Resource points, surrender boxes. Ally eliminated boxes here, reserves, ally replacement supply tools, pools right here, pools. And then as you can see, this next map will continue off onto this end here. Matter of fact, there's a bit of an overlap because Tobruk is there and Tobruk is here. So this would come on into about here. So it's a nice little overlap here. Let's see if I can line it up somewhat straight. There we go. So there's our little lineup there of those 2 maps. Let me fold this one up. And now we'll throw this one out here for you to look at. And here we start coming into Libya here. And again, Tobruk is up here. Dernar is up there, Dernar. We have some mountains here, terrain. And I like that this is just all brown, a map. I remember Avalon Hill had Tobruk and it was all brown, the desert. You know, at least they have some coloring here. And again, we have Axis elimination box, Tripoli. So these are the off-map things. There's Italy up at the top. And you can see that, you know, Benghazi, into Benghazi right here. And Tripoli down into here. Axis replacement. So this, I don't even think my table is a pretty good sized table, and it's not going to be able to fit all of this map on it. That's for sure. And up the top here we have anti-shipping table again. Ally airfield marker, port of Tobruk right there. Port demolition and bombing table again. And shipping port costs. So there are our maps right there. Okay, so as you can see, there's quite a bit of stuff that comes into this North Africa campaign. And like all of Simonitch's games, they're just fun. And then here's our North Africa 41 rulebook on top. And there is the box. Okay, so that was my quick and simple box opening of North Africa 41. I'm looking forward to playing this game relatively soon. I got a lot of games on my table, but eventually I'm going to get to this one. Hopefully I'll be able to play it against somebody face to face, and that would be fun. All right, I really thank you for joining. Please do like and subscribe. As always, it helps out the channel tremendously. For those of you who stayed this long, thank you very much. That also helps when you watch the whole thing. And hopefully this gives you some insight into the game. Make it, you know, whether you want to buy it or not. It's a fun game. All of Mark's are fun games. So if you have one of them, well, you got to have the latest one to complete your collection. Anyway, thank you for watching. Catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.